Hello and welcome to Critical Idiots. Today we focus on the idiot side of our name.
Let's go! Okay.
Wow.
Let's get started.
This is an extraction. Biggest drug lord in India versus biggest drug lord in Bangladesh.
Extraction.
Extraction, yes.
Alright, a little introduction on the film. It's led by Chris Hemsworth, playing a character called Tyler Rake. He's in a mercenary group hired by an Indian crime lord, as his son has been kidnapped by a Bangladeshi crime lord, and things go awry.
So, where to begin with this film? It begins like probably every other action film.
It begins near the end.
Yeah, as soon
yeah.
as this film began, the first scene, and it's like Chris Hemsworth is like really bloody and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is... nobody said anything. And I was like, oh, this is a flashback. No, flash forward.
Yeah,
this is the end of the film.
Yeah,
I already knew that this is... And he's going to sit down and he's going to reflect on how this all started.
Yeah.
And then it did that.
I thought it was going to cut to him looking at something, but he was just like into the camera.
Yeah.
And it cuts like a high school. It's like, you know, they're like finishing class.
Yeah.
Like, see you later. And they're
Just
like,
that, generic text comes in.
Yeah.
It's just like,
you gotta talk to her,
listen,
dude.
watch it, and nothing.
After we have the good old conversation with the lovely Indian boys and their high school.
It's Owen
After
and his
school.
friends.
Yeah.
Owen and his-
Owen and
yeah.
his friends.
Over again, his friends.
He doesn't drink or
The
something.
Indian boys.
Who cares?
Yeah. He's sensitive.
And then he gets home and there's some...
Sarju. He was his dad's employee. He's
Yeah.
like, your father told you to come straight home. What is this?
Yeah.
Why are you home late?
He's like talking to his friends and they're talking in English, and I was sort of like, oh, this dumb, Western film is gonna have all these Indian people speaking English.
They
But-
constantly switch from Hindi or...
Well, that's the thing. He goes home and then he talks to his father's employee, and his father's employee is speaking Hindi, and then the kid's still speaking English. And I was like, and you've got subtitles obviously for the Hindi, and I was like, oh,
Why don't you just...
is that something people do?
So he gets kidnapped, and then his father in prison employs his lieutenant to get him back, and he hires
Well, not just employees. He's
the
like,
best in the biz to extract him, which is an Aussie hero,
yeah.
mate.
So the thing that, so I think I was misunderstood. Were you talking about how Ovi's father tries to get someone? Yeah. So he tells Sarju that if he doesn't get his boy back, he's gonna kill his son.
Yeah.
So Sarju is he's kind of like this anti-hero in the film, where we know the reason he's doing it is actually just that he kind of acts as a bit of an antagonist.
It's not like he's acting like, oh, if I don't save this kid, he's going to kill me. It's like he's going to kill the people I care about.
Yeah.
Like he's
Kill
going
his
to kill
family,
children and my wife, and like, so it's not like it's selfish.
Yeah,
what he's
No,
doing.
yeah, it's a very good reason, but also I don't feel any empathy towards him.
I feel like he didn't need that.
Yeah, it seems like so run of the mill.
Especially because he's already the lieutenant and he seems to know this kid. So it's like he already has been looking out for this kid for quite a while.
See, I thought it was one of the a few interesting angles added to like just a normal kind of action film. I liked the dynamic of like there was a bit of nuance to the people that were trying to get him weren't necessarily just bad guys. There were some people trying to get him as well that had kind of a common interest.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
And they also wanted to make it so that the Americans that came in were doing the heavy work.
Yeah, that was the whole
Were able to
thing.
Take it out.
So once they extracted the kid at a certain point, they were like, yeah, they're not paying us, so just leave the kid.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is a mercenary who's sort of retired because backstory, insert flashback.
Yeah.
Like you've seen a million times where it's this, blurred out image and it's faded, and every time you see a little bit more, and in the end you finally see it, and it's not anything. You're like, oh, it's like it's a
It's a standard flashback.
Yeah. It's not like a moment that like happened either. It's just like
it's just an imaginary.
It's just some white little girl.
No, it's a little boy.
It's a little boy.
Yes. I wasn't paying that much attention.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's rich.
I feel like that particular sort of colorway could be like a leftover from like Fast and Furious. Like when Brian's playing with his boy and the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like, all right, let's get the shot of the boy. And they cut it out and it's like, we'll take it.
Yeah, it was just some B-rolls in that film.
Yeah.
We need
the backstory.
Of the child out of focus.
You don't want them like in frame with the protagonist who's having the flashback.
No, it's POV.
So we cut to Chris Hemsworth, who's chilling in the outback in Australia, next to this 50-foot drop into a pool of water.
There's two dudes he's with, just like chatting away, and they're like talking about whatever, and he's like barely paying attention.
He's asleep.
Oh, yeah. They're like, oh man, that's a big job.
Look at that big job.
Whoa,
what is
that? It was a big drop.
He doesn't even think. He's like, hold my beer. And he just like walks off and then jumps.
It's like they're trying to like make it like downplayed, but it's also too serious somehow.
Yeah.
But then that's the best part is we see him like a pin go into the water.
And he breaks his leg on the impact.
But then
and then he's like meditating.
This man has no body fat. I don't know how he's not like struggling to stay down there and not like floating a little bit. But he's just sitting at the bottom of the.
It's literally.
And he's just like what? He's like looking around.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sober now.
And that's how you wake up. And then it cuts back to his house, and then that woman comes in the helicopter.
Nick.
cut on.
No, dude, don't call her that. She's a lovely lady. Yeah.
Yeah, so it establishes Tyler Rake's character as someone that just takes jobs, wants to die.
And he's popping
like,
pills and drinking alcohol.
Clearly does not give a shit.
Yeah, it's mostly about getting in there, you know?
Yeah.
What is he doing it for? Like,
well, she says,
if
she's
he's
like,
not
you're taking these missions because you don't want to come back, do you? Like, you're hoping one of them is the last mission.
Oh, is that what he's
Yeah, it's established.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's something,
Suicidal.
because of this flashback has changed him. This flashback, whatever has happened then, has had an effect that's completely warped his
You're not
life.
going to find out yet, though.
Well, we get to find out. They wouldn't just have a flashback and not really explain anything.
We're not shit.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so he accepts the job, and Nick says, don't come into work if you're drunk. So he's an alcoholic, and he takes the mission.
No. Yeah, he's an Australian, yeah.
So he goes to extract the kid, and then it's pretty much just like 90 minutes of just.
But yeah, so he gets hired, and then they like, I don't know, as soon as it comes out, I could tell this was going to be like very mediocre. There was never going to get really, I thought it was going to be really bad, and that I was going to be able to love how bad it was.
Oh, like
and it was never like that for me at least.
No.
It was just always like sort of towing a line where it was like, this could work.
Yeah.
And then they don't really do anything with some of these scenes, but
it was never so bad that I was like, I'm enjoying this because of how bad it was. Yeah. It was never so good that I was like, I'm enjoying this.
Oh yeah, where's it going next?
Yeah.
You know?
So it kind of left me in a place in between, and not even in a good way where it's like, well, it wasn't bad. In a way where I was like,
that was 2 hours of my life I'd never get back.
It was probably one of the most competently done generic action scenes. I wouldn't say it was
I'm not
creative.
saying it's unprofessional.
Yeah, well, not even
just,
unprofessional. I found it refreshing that a lot of it was done in, and we'll talk about the long take, but a lot of it was done in like a wide shot, and with a focus on choreography.
Well,
and it wasn't just like a Michael Bay kind of cluster, which I appreciated.
And then a big action sequence ensues, and he gets the kid. I've added a bit
for what?
Yay! But yeah, I know that sort of stuff. It wasn't like terrible, but it was just very
bland.
Yeah, it's very, and it's very generic. You'd seen it before. It was very cliche.
Wait, the choreography or the meeting?
No, the meeting, the dialogue.
Meeting,
All the dialogue is really cliched, and it wasn't like bad. It was just like super. I've seen this before, like 30 years ago or something.
It also kind of like breaks my heart because Joe Russo, who wrote it, he's also, a mega franchise guy now, and he also did Community and Arrested Development, so they know good writing.
Yeah.
Like, they've seen it around.
Well,
Why the
It's story. I think they did more structure, not so much like
pen to paper.
Yeah, but
maybe.
Well, I think this movie isn't relying on the story though as well, so it's not as important.
So I think that Joe Russo read it.
Yeah.
And then from there they break into the action. As soon as the action starts, it's really stylistic. There's a clear visual.
There's a voice to I know how I want to do an action scene.
Yeah,
you can tell that he cares.
Yeah, there's a concept to how this particular scene and all the other action scenes in this film. There's a clear vision for how they want to be pulled off and executed.
Yeah, clearly I love all the Asian cinema and Bruce Lee films. And stuff like that.
And lots of Thai films. I haven't seen the raid, but just of some of the sequences I've seen, it felt a little bit reminiscent of that, really close quarters.
But I'm sure nowhere near as good.
Well, I think it's actually disappointing because it feels like there's only a handful of those scenes of the really good choreography that isn't just bang bang bang.
So who hired?
So I thought it was Sarju's boss, who was Ovi's dad, who hired who told Sarju, "I'm going to kill your family if you don't get my son."
Yes. But he also hired Chris Hemsworth's team.
Yeah.
He did both. He's double crossed.
So Sarju doesn't know that he did that. That's a really bad thing. If you had two people working to get.
It's I go, "Can you get me McDonald's?" And then you have to get McDonald's, and I'm like, "Can you get me a McDonald's?"
But there's only one burger left.
There's only one burger.
And then we could potentially destroy this burger.
And you have no idea. You're fighting over the burger. You have no idea that both the burgers are going to go to me.
And Brodie's actually after this burger.
Yeah,
as well, but he's not going to give it to you.
Yeah,
so Brodie's trying to get the burger from Dangle and I. And rather than Dangle and I be like, "Yo, dude, you're getting this from Charles. We should go there together." Yeah. I mean,
it's weird that he didn't just go get it himself. Getting him the burger,
That's the weirdest analogy ever.
Dare I say the script is convoluted.
No, it makes sense. That's not the most confusing part. No, they have to do the heavy work. Sarju can't go there and do it himself. So they have to extract him. He has to know. He has to be in an open
But why
case.
would you tell two people to do the same thing and be like, "Oh, by the way, if you see these guys, my son, you maybe help them."
Because he's double crossing them. He's gonna kill them.
Yeah, Sarju's picking up the package after they've done the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
finish him off.
So Chris Hemsworth. Wait. Sarju's going to be killed after. Chris Hemsworth is going to be killed afterwards.
No, so if Sarju fails, his son's going to be killed afterwards. But basically, Sarju's job is once Chris Hemsworth has gotten Ovi past a certain point, he's to intercept Ovi and steal him from Chris Hemsworth, and they're not going to pay Chris Hemsworth.
It would be a lot easier if he'd just lied to him. If instead of being and has a gun ready to be okay, give us the boy.
I think it was because his objective was to no questions asked and getting him to this part of the.
There was also a big team. He has to take them out individually and have them trust him.
This whole movie seems to exist to just keep on the background while you're f***ing. It's a Netflix and chill.
Or you just put it on and then you're like, "Oh, this is shit," and just.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Netflix made a movie you can Netflix and chill with.
Yeah,
which is
I don't think that is the point of this film.
I know, he's joking.
Yeah,
I honestly, I disagree. It did not get me hard at all.
I disagree. I came way too early, and I had to watch the rest of the film.
No, dude. My girlfriend's like, "Come on, dude, let me suck your dick," and I was like,
"Nah, man, get off me!"
Chris Hemsworth is crying. What happened?
He's not brave, mate.
He's not as tough as the exterior he's putting on.
As the hardened shell you've come to know is actually a facade.
I wanted to punch you in the face.
He's got layers.
He's deep, man. He's deep.
Yeah. It's like an onion.
And then there's I don't know, he's meant to have a bit of a cool team, a cool mercenary team that you don't ever really care about.
Hardly me.
Yeah.
The director's on the team.
Is he?
Yeah, he's G.
You were paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, you do your research. Come on.
I think we were all with Brodie. I think we were all asleep.
Chris was writing notes.
I feel there's a moment that they also a lot of the people in the team died, but it's not a moment I don't really understand why.
Well, so I think the shit hits the fan, and they die. That's all I get.
Yeah, that sums it
and
up.
then there was like, I remember like it was like towards the ending, and it was like ending really, and it was like there's 20 minutes left.
Yes, I was thinking.
Yes, he straight up dies, and there's 20 minutes left in the movie. I'm like, all right, what the going
What's
on
gonna
now?
happen here?
Oh,
I saw one that was like
15 minutes of credits.
There's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like really long. I think it should have just doubled down a little bit more, and not necessarily being a dumb action film, but really being an action film that was really straight to the point. Like
Self-aware.
Oh, like shoot
or like
'em up.
The Raid.
Yeah, something that has a really simple premise, and this does have a simple premise, but it tries to convolute it a bit to make it a bit more, a little less, dumb or a little bit more interesting. But really, it more makes it.
But like being just totally of the genre and not trying to be like, oh, well, here's an emotional scene because we need that. Like to have a full.
It tries way too hard to be deep.
Yeah,
and fails.
And if you can pull that off, go for it. But they can't.
It's a dumb action movie.
Yeah.
No, I think they were trying to build more depth though, because it's one of the first Netflix
Yeah.
originals that's filmed in Bangladesh as well, and there was a lot of excitement for them. So it was trying to build more of a story. So there was a reason behind it.
But it failed.
It was
cut it down, cut the crap.
I think that it would have benefited more if it went down a little bit more of a comedic route than a serious route.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like
if it had some fun with it.
Yeah, do you know that movie Shoot 'Em Up with Clive Owen, and it's basically like 2 hours of
Monica Belushi and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like Clive Owen just like shooting people in really creative, fun, smart, like funny ways for 2 hours, and
it's just a vehicle for great fight scenes.
Yeah,
and
it's
cool
a vehicle,
kills.
and that's what this should have been. I think it should have gone a little bit more of a route where it's not trying to fill out all those standard plot points where this is the lowest part for those low parts, but there's a backstory. I don't need a backstory for my character.
You can tell if the stunt coordinator and Chris Hemsworth were on set and they're like, dude, we should do something together. It didn't start off, but let's tell a story together. It was like, let's fucking kick some ass. Let's make a crazy action film. And he should have stayed in that mind frame, in my opinion.
It took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
In saying that, They went one step further and tried to complicate the directing as well. Like, even the camera angles were just... most of the fight scene with running between the cars was all, like, one shot. And, like, I get why, but, like, you're not that movie.
At what point of Chris Hemsworth's death scene did you start crying?
Because
when I realized there was 20 minutes to go, I was like, I'm never gonna finish watching this film.
Well, the thing is, because it was a flash forward, there was a moment. There was that moment, where everything was going down, and you already knew what was going to happen. You already knew the dramatic irony was so heavy.
Although in the
opening, got shot again.
It isn't clear that he passes away.
No, they have the flash. True. There's like a bit at the end where you see like his figure. Like doesn't somebody, I can't remember which character, but somebody who survives looks into the distance. And
and there was a blurry figure.
This blurry white dude in India or something.
Oh, the last shot of the film.
Yeah.
So he's swimming and then he comes out of the water.
Yeah, the kid.
And behind him is a guy standing there. And I don't think that's Chris Hemsworth. I think that's someone that's come to kill him.
We don't see him die.
Oh my
and then
God.
he jumps in the water and then somebody looks over the bridge and he's not there.
No, guys, it's because there's
Jesus.
a sequel. There's a sequel coming.
Oh no!
There's a sequel.
Oh, for f***'s sake!
Yeah, that'd be it.
We'll find out next summer.
Why does this movie exist?
Actually, I do want to say I did like the long take in this because it kind of felt like a co-op shoot 'em up.
Yeah,
it felt like, all right, on my shoulder, kid. And that was alright.
I think what I didn't really like so much actually any of the action in it. I think I really just like the camera movement in it because I was like, I haven't seen cameras moving around in like a mainstream film in a long time. It's great.
Moving around.
Going here and there. Like they're really.
That's a different angle. That's a different angle. That's crazy.
All this movement is motivated. It has a reason. Instead of just using every line that's a stereotype in an action film, they try to subvert it and be a lot more on the nose about it.
You know who would have done this? A really good job with this film?
Oh no,
Ryan Johnson.
Oh no.
Imagine those push-ins.
I know.
All right, so David Harbour, did everybody like him?
He was
I was happy to see him.
Did you see that twist coming? There's like one bit where he's just like, well, why don't you just kill the kid, just put him out of his misery? And I was actually a little bit like,
It makes sense.
It was an interesting dynamic.
And the fucking relationship between the Ovi and Tyler. It's just...
He wasn't brave, mate.
But like...
I'm not brave, man.
It's just... The writing is not good enough for me to have established a connection between them, like an emotional connection.
Yeah, that's why it should have gone John Wick or the Raid stuff.
We haven't even talked about Chris Hemsworth beating up kids.
Oh, that was the best!
And he's like annoyed at them. And he's like,
a little slap! Kicks him through the door!
He's like, oh.
And when he was so excited.
When he raised that first building, and there's that kid left, and the kid's like, click, 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 trying to shoot him and trying to reload and click, and he's like walk towards him. I thought he was gonna be like, shh.
Chris Hemsworth did a great job of what this movie is.
Yeah,
like
no one great.
Capable.
Yeah, it was functional.
He was a good actor in an otherwise bad movie.
He kills so many people, and I just feel there's a point that the mob boss may have some connections to the SWAT team, but surely there's a point they're like, all right, this is too many. This is like one dude's kid. We can't like use 30% of the military budget for this financial year.
It's gonna be embarrassing if we don't get him.
No one will respect me as a drug dealer if we don't kill this one child.
Hey, you want to go get some drugs tonight? Oh wait, no, we don't respect him.
No one will respect you.
No, we don't go to him anymore. He couldn't get that kid.
I mean, like, what do you mean they won't respect you? I mean, clearly it'll be evident that there's like, you know, you own the SWAT team, that you'll go to great lengths to murder someone.
That like, if you try and with him, the whole city will come down.
Yeah, we will lock downtown and search
every
for
bridge is locked down. There's no way out of the city.
Helicopters flying around.
For one.
No, they'll think I'm weak.
It's like, can I get that on tick? Yeah, you sure, but I'll find you if you don't.
Yeah, right.
You don't find me.
I heard about that kid. I
have no respect for you.
I mean, sure, you make children cut off their own fingers and choose which ones.
But that kid escaped you.
But there's that one boy who got away.
And my respect. That's two things.
Two things he lost that day. That boy and my respect.
And he's like, I knew this would happen. They find that boy.
Alright, I'm giving Extraction a 6 out of 10. I thought this was going to be like a 5, where it was going to be so mediocre, but like, maybe a 4. I thought it was going to be a 4 in the sense that it wasn't going to be passable as a film. There'd be no reason to watch this. It was going to tick all the boxes in terms like, it has a backstory for the character, or it has, you know, just all of this and that. But then once it got into the fight scenes, I had a reason to pay attention, and I thought all those fight scenes would be something that I'd be willing to watch, you know, just on their own, just as almost a clip. I wouldn't dare watch this film ever again for its action or its content. But I thought those parts there was quite a few things I hadn't seen before, and so that's why I'd give this a 6. That made it just that passable.
I'm going to give Extraction a 4. I thought it was exceedingly competent in certain areas. Like, I thought the choreography was really interesting. I thought the angle it took with it's a kind of action philosophy with kind of more just wide shots, long takes, and it wasn't perfect in places, but it was more or less go in the second act. Could have done that more. So I appreciated that a lot. And unlike you, Brodie, I did think that the sound design and engineering, it made those gun hits feel super like boom, boom. I really liked that. I thought it had some really worthwhile fight scenes and not much else.
All right, I would also give it a 4. It is like Owen says, a movie I would not be keen to see again. That being said, some of the action sequences were very well done. But overall, story lacking, characters, I mean, I didn't really give a shit about them. I couldn't care if they lived or died. I personally wanted to shoot the kid in the face. That was probably bad. But
all this for you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like
at a certain point, like
it's like shut up! I don't care. I don't care anymore. And the fact that it's like a 2-hour movie or longer, like why?
Way too long.
It's
minus the credits.
It's
still way too
It's
long.
the director, Sam Hargrave, the Russo brothers, all like thinking that it's going to be greater than what it was, and it failed miserably, in my opinion. So yeah, 4.
Okay. No, I really just didn't like it. I found it really bland and boring, and I guess like with action, it's like it was like I suppose it was like well made and stuff, but it never got me excited or anything. So I'd probably give it like a 3. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not too much to say about it. I thought the script was trying to do a bit of world building, but then it just did so many like obvious beats, like with his background and things like that. That's just like. It's kind of like I was just on a ride with that Mia the whole time, and I wish it took itself less seriously, because stuff like him jumping off the ledge and then meditating at the bottom of the river, that should just be a ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
And just let it be that ridiculous
I almost
movie.
loved that scene.
Yeah.
If they took it in a more campy direction, this would have been hilarious.
Yeah, they could still play it a bit straight.
If they did
like with just a little touch
some grindhouse or something, a touch of something exploitative.
Like make the drug dealers crazy, like the chainsaw scene in Scarface or something.
Yeah. He tried to do that.
I disagree. Because I think a big issue with this film is for a lot of people from Bangladesh, they think it's misrepresenting the area. So going into that direction could be very bad for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to give a rating of 5 out of 10. I think it attempted a lot of things I didn't expect to happen. I didn't know about the long take till I watched it. Didn't enjoy it, but I like that it tried something. Like that.
That's exactly my sentiment.
And the choreography, a lot of the time when there was like fight scenes, I really enjoyed that. But then it, regressed and just turned into a lot of pot shots. And that was a bit boring. But yeah, 5 out of 10 as it was mediocre and the story wasn't the best, but I didn't expect a good story. So, it was fine.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Stay tuned in the coming weeks for another review. We don't know when. We just got out of quarantine ourselves. So, see you guys.
Good boy.
Told you it was a surprise.